What if your favorite K-pop idols and variety stars got trapped in a massive escape room and had to solve their way out while being hunted by cult members? Welcome to Puzzlewatch, a show where I break down escape variety shows that aren't your usual puzzle rooms. They're cinematic, immersive, and this format is almost entirely missing in Western media. Hi, I'm Alanna, and I design immersive games with a special focus on escape rooms and puzzle storytelling. Through my brand Thorn and Key, I create mysteries that you can hold into your hand, from tabletop puzzles to narrative artifacts. And here on Puzzlewatch, I break down some of the most creative escape-style shows from around the world. For our very first episode, we're starting off with Agents of Mystery, the newest entry from producer Jang Jong-yeok, or JJY for short. He's the mind behind some of Korea's most elaborate and brainy game shows, including The Genius, Society Game, and The Devil's Plan. As for Agents of Mystery, you can watch it right now on Netflix. Let's get into it. Agents of Mystery is a 2024 series where 6 celebrities form a secret global task force investigating weird phenomena. Each case they investigate spans 3 episodes of the series, and for today's video of Puzzlewatch, we'll be talking about the first case, The Followers of the Evil One. Our cast may be familiar to some. There's Harry from Girls' Day, Karina from aespa, singer John Park, comedians Lee Yeon-ji and Lee Yong-jin, and actor Kim Do-hoon. Everyone brings a different vibe, but Harry and John Park stood out for how observant and calm they were, and Eun-ji was just effortlessly hilarious the whole case. For this first case, our intrepid 6 are sent to investigate an abandoned factory. And what's happening there? Missing people with matching birthdays, creepy symbols, and overall just really suspicious vibes. My first reaction was that this is classic JJY. The sets are massive and immersive, the camera angles are so well planned, yet the camera itself was really hidden, so it feels like you as a viewer, you're really in there with the players. So right from the start, we'll plunge into this creepy factory with blood trails and muddy holes and bugs and bloodstained tools, and the tension just does not let up from there. The story constantly balances clue hunting with story reveals. You're either deciphering a new puzzle with the cast or discovering another layer to the mystery. And because both the cast and viewers are kept in sync, the tension is there and you are following the story. The show obviously has really high production value, and that is so good. One other thing I like is that this early arc is where you're seeing the team still learning to work together, and that's great for viewer orientation. It's your introduction to the players and the game format. I think the puzzle flow for this was great. It started out with a physical search that was more gross than actually brainy. You had to stick your arm into a muddy hole filled with bugs, and it set the players and the viewers up for the tension that would last throughout pretty much the entire case. Most of the puzzles here though are what I would call physical interactions with story elements. There's a little bit of hide and seek with the NPCs, interaction with NPCs, object matching. These aren't logic-heavy puzzles, which makes the whole show a lot more accessible to casual viewers. But what really stood out for me was the notebook folding puzzle in episode 2. The clue was embedded in the paper folds of the notebook, and it was subtle enough that you would feel clever for noticing it, and I think John Park did. And as a group puzzle environment, I think it worked beautifully. Everyone contributed in different ways, be it group observation, bravery, forward planning, or succinct communication. I really like it when a show lets you see all of these puzzle-solving archetypes in action. I think this whole set felt like we were watching a film. Everything was so immersive and so detailed, down to the amount of dust that would be on the shelves and things like that. And the set also lent itself to that tension because if the rooms were small and there were open doorways, you couldn't look into it. There were corners, so you didn't know if there was somebody hiding around behind there. And even if there were large rooms, there was no hiding spot with open doors. So you would be like, oh my god, am I going to get caught by an NPC, and so on and so forth. Which leads me to the next point. I think the NPCs were great, especially the first one they met who was searching for the missing key and kind of banging drawers and stuff like that. This performance really lent to the mood and the tone of the whole case. And I also want to commend the cast for taking it seriously, because there was a character that could have been pretty cringy, but because the cast took it seriously, it was a serious aspect of the show, because the cast was actually committed to the story and the narrative of the case. So unlike some shows where the lore gets very complicated, Agents of Mystery keeps it pretty simple. There are missing people, there's a suspicious cult, therefore stop the ritual. It's tight and easy to follow, and it feels like this is an escape room with a really strong narrative backbone. I think Agents of Mystery was a solid ride for this first case especially. The cast took it seriously, which made it immersive for the viewers as well. And I really liked hearing them reflect about the case in the interviews afterwards, like how angry they got at the villain NPC, and that's a sign of good immersive game and narrative design. So yeah, props for that. Also, Dome Room Princess carrying one of the sacrifices, yeah, iconic. My only gripe is that I wish there was a debrief. After all that chaos and all that teamwork, I kind of want to know what happened and what the players felt after all of that. So just one more scene, please. As for the puzzle MVP, I think the ritual stopping puzzle at the end was brilliant. It was fairly open-ended as to how the players could have approached it, and therefore that made it interactive and gave the players some real agency as to how they could have solved it. As for MV player, and I think Young-jin was great. He was brave and he was funny, and the way he explained and talked about the puzzles and kind of communicated the final symbols at the end, that was just chef's kiss. I think the hologram in the secret room was a little bit goofy, especially in such a high production environment, but well, I guess it did move the plot forward. No way. You would need a full cast of actors, literally what is a movie set, and cameras hidden all in the walls, just to see around hidden corners and stuff like that. I think this only works because it's TV, it's Netflix. It's gonna be really hard for any kind of like real-life escape rooms to replicate this. So that's it for this episode of Puzzlewatch. If you enjoyed the first case of Agents of Mystery, let me know what your favorite moment was. Or if you have another show you want me to cover, drop it in the comments below. Next time, we're heading back to where it all started for me, the classic The Great Escape Korea, Season 1, Episode 1. So don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow wherever you're watching. Thanks so much. Thanks for solving this with me. I'll see you next time.